Hello, this is Jacob from Busy Life. In my previous video, I demonstrated how the price of a product can be determined using Odoo's price list feature. In this tutorial, I will demonstrate how the cost of a product can be determined not only by the bill of materials, but by the various operations along the manufacturing process. If you remember from my last tutorial, in the manufacturing app, we created the battery rack, and we were actually able to compute the cost of this product based on the bill of materials that we created for it. And we can take a look at that bill of materials. It included a 30 screws and 3 steel sheets. And we said that the cost of this ends up being $120. So this information is incomplete. It includes the cost of the bill of materials, but this isn't really the full cost of the product because there are operations when a product is produced. So we want to be able to actually compute the cost of a product based on those different operations. So we have this thing called work centers, and basically in a work center we have an operation for people on a factory floor. So in our example, since we're building a battery rack, we're going to want to do we want to cut the parts into usable pieces. So CNC machine will cut a steel sheet into usable parts, and we'll say that the cost per hour is $30 and overall equipment efficiency is 90%, time efficiency let's say 85%, and then we'll save this. Then we'll create another work center called welding station, and we can say that this cost is $25 per hour with 90% efficiency. And then we'll create one more work center, and we'll call this packaging. We'll say this price is $22 per hour. And now we're going to create a routing. And this routing we'll call build or manufacture from raw materials. Then we'll name the operations. So the first operation would be cutting parts from the CNC machine. We'll say cutting parts. And now this is pretty important. It says duration computation. We can choose to either compute this based on real time or set the duration manually. So earlier we set the cost per hour to run this work center. And so if we set the duration manually, then we're going to say every single time it takes 30 minutes to complete this product, and that's going to be factored into the cost of the finished product. But if we compute it based on real time, then we're able to say a default of the work order. We can say it's based on the last 3 work orders. What this will do is it will take the last 3 work orders as they go through different work centers, and let's say the welder gets a work order in his work center, and he says that it took him 30 minutes to complete an order. Well, now that information is going to be updated, and it will take the average of those 3 work orders, and it will say that that is the real time that it takes to produce this product, and then it will use that to determine the cost. So we're going to compute this based on real time right now. Then the next operation would be welding station. We'll say weld parts together. And again, we'll change this to 3 work orders. And we'll say that this takes 45 minutes. And then lastly, we have packaging. So package parts, or package product. And this is again based on the last 3 work orders. Now we can go back into our product, the battery rack. And in the bill of materials for this battery rack, we can say the routing is manufactured from raw materials. And then when we look at the structure and cost, it will show all the operations and the associated cost for those operations. These are based on our defaults, the default cost per hour that we said, because it hasn't had any work orders in order to compute the real time yet. This is a really cool feature, and it's one of the primary goals of an ERP system, to be able to get an accurate cost of your products. And Odoo makes it so simple with this feature. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for future videos.